Page 77, Standing in the Need of Prayer. On page 76, they're introducing some more stuff with eighth notes. I didn't cover any of those pieces, the shoe fly and the skip to my loo thing. I'll let you do those on your own, but it is important that you go through that page and understand what they're saying. If you don't understand it, then please ask. I'll try and answer it. I think eighth notes will get a little easier as we continue to go through the book, because we're going to be using them a lot. On the page 77 part, let's talk about this piece. I'm going to start out with the right hand. I'm going to talk about the right hand first. We got all kinds of eighth notes, things going on in the right hand. First line, the last two measures, you see those eighth notes in that one measure, all those C's? Well, this is in 4/4 times, so I would count it 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that tells you how fast the eighth notes go. So in that next to the last measure on the first line, it's here. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, okay? And the next line down, it's the same rhythm. And the third line down, look at that. You have a pickup. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Get the idea with the eighth notes? Practice it slowly. Just count it. It's important that you understand and get this rhythm. What you don't want to do is fall into the trap so many people do, is they say, I don't understand. Let me hear it first, and then I can get it. And I hate that. If you can't sit down and figure it out yourself, then go back and start the book again. Don't waste my time. I don't want to mess with it. I have no patience for that. So you be able to do this yourself. Don't try and say, I need to hear it first. Count this out carefully and work it out yourself. In time, it will get much better and easier for you, and you'll be a whiz at it. Really, it makes a whale of difference. So the only really tricky thing about this piece is the rhythm. The eighth notes they put in the right hand. In the left hand, all you have is chords. These typical chords. We're not in middle C position here. We're in C position. We're back down here. Right. So you have the C chord and the G7 chord and the F chord. You've had all these. These are the primary chords for C major. Not a problem, I hope. Keep in mind the melodies in the right hand, so you keep those chords soft, so we hear the melody. Having said that, there's actually an exception to this in this piece, because if you're singing it, a lot of times when people singing it, you see at the very beginning of this, you have the words "it's me," and immediately the left hand answers "it's me." If people are singing it, they're actually, this is a counter melody, and you can play that a little louder because it's a counter melody. But in the next measure, it's not, so you have to play the chord soft. So at the beginning, it would be that. So you can adjust how loud you play those depending on whether you got words with them or not. If there's words with them, play them a little louder. Otherwise, keep it soft. At the bottom of the page, last measure at the bottom below the staff, you see a DC Alfine. You're going to see this a lot. DC means go back to the beginning. It's like a repeat sign. Sends you back to the beginning. Alfine means go to fine. The fine, and it's fine, not fine, it's fine, it's Italian, means end. That is at the end of the second line. You see it below the staff. You also see the thin and thick bar lines to signify the end of a piece is there. Tells you that's where the piece ends. So when you get down to the bottom of the page, you're going to go back up and play the first two lines again. Now, as far as the dynamics go here, you're starting out medium loud, and then the last two measures of the first line, or the next to the last measure, you're going to get a little bit louder, not a lot, just a little bit, so you'll have to practice that. Here to start, so I'm going to, and the next to the last measure, the first note would be about this loud. And the first note in the next measure would be a little louder. How do you go from here to here smoothly? So you have to practice that. you'll have to work that out yourself. It's kind of a personal thing. And then in the second line, the last two measures, now you're going back down. And this time you can actually go all the way down to soft if you want. It's up to you how soft you get. But you're starting out fairly loud. So you want to go from here. In the last measure, you want to be here. And then the left hand, the last note's going to be really soft. Because the left hand continues to get softer in that last measure. You see that arrow continues to go on. So it's here. So you have to work that out. You have it also in the third line. You can work out how loud you are and how loud you want to get. And then the last line, same thing. How loud you are and how softer do you want to get. Work those out carefully. The dynamics add so much to the music. It's kind of important. Actually, it's very important. It's kind of very important, I guess. I'm not sure. In the third line down, see all those eighth notes? You have an E and a D sharp. Just go ahead and use second finger because you had it on the D. So you're going to do that. I curve the middle finger up a little bit so I can reach. I don't like playing up in the black note area. I could leave my middle finger out and do it, but that's my fingers are a little big. So I curve my middle finger in a little bit to keep it out here, and then I just come in like that. You have to work out the best position for your fingers to get those two notes. And you know the way accidentals work. They apply from that point on to the rest of the measure. So in that first full measure, in the third line, all those eighth notes, the D sharp, the first one applies for the rest of the measure. So all those D's are D sharp. Then when you get to the next measure, the sharp doesn't apply anymore. So now it's a D natural. Now, having said all that, let's try this out slowly. I've slowed the metronome down because of the eighth notes. So your C position, it has a pickup beat. I'll give us 3 counts. We'll play this together. Now this is assuming you can already play it, and now you're just going to check what you've done with me. All right? Don't try playing it with me until you've learned it yourself. 1, ready, go. Beginning